G. I got nothing but mad love and respect for him. If he told me to lay down in the street right now, I would go do it just on the strength of who he is. So that's how I feel about him. You know what I'm saying? If I had half the game that he forgot about, shit.
Now you getting into that pimp talk, boy.
if I had half the game he forgot about,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Now see, what people also got to understand is our lineage is, while Chris is the older brother, you're my OG. And see, this dude at the age of 12 sat down with me with a case of Jack Daniels and taught me about manhood. And so a lot of what I learned up through high school, early college years, I followed the path.
But you know what's fucked up about that? So y'all heard what he said. I am that dude. Y'all heard what he just fucking said. But when his son was born, my son ain't fucking with you.
yeah.
My son ain't fucking with you.
See, it's about building a legacy. Yeah, it's about building a legacy. And so, that's why I expose my son to the things that I do. And nobody can tell you how to parent your child.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's one of the toughest things that we have to do.
Yeah.
Is be parents.
Yeah. And I recall, so I guess we'll get into it because we both want to talk about our backgrounds. But I'm originally from the East Coast.
You just keep bringing
East
back
Coast.
get that shit in there.
You from
I'm a Jersey. I'm a dirty Jersey baby.
Misa got that.
Mountainside Hospital.
Going on for the East Coast.
Montclair.
Jersey.
You remember all my shows?
Yeah.
History with that.
Your partner.
Right?
She got. Yeah.
Did you ask him?
I did.
And what did he say?
That's the turnpike. I was like, no, it's not.
It's the Parkway. You see what I'm saying? So yes, I'm originally from Jersey. Shout out to my family in East Orange. And then by way of them records, Jilo, Cabal.
Hey, Red Rum.
Yeah,
I used to know them back in the day.
Well, then you knew me because I was 16 years old doing the marketing and advertising, doing the promotions.
You remember this guy Anthony that used to be there?
Tonio, conductor, holler at us. He on my IG right now. Come on, conductor. Yeah.
That's fam
back
right
in the
there.
day.
Yeah. So. Huh? So back in the 90s, and you can go back and fact check if you'd like, but back in the 90s we had a project with Jilo out of Arlington, and it got us some exposure at the national level that started pumping money into the label, and then we end up launching Cabal. And end up going out to San Diego for the video. What's up, Kiki? I don't even know Kiki, but nah.
She was on that show.
Oh, what's up, Kiki? Yeah, I'm sorry.
The big booty like mine.
So back to my story. So we rocking out early 90s. So at 15, 16 years old, these guys are throwing projects at me like, hey, whatever you can come up with. And they didn't expect me to take it as serious as I did. And next thing you know, we started receiving calls from Universal, other major labels, because at that point we had reached 52,000 albums sold in the quarter. And for an independent, that's very well. That's very good. And so once we started getting those projects behind us, we branched out. Red Rum Records partnered with DOC and Vernon Norris when we started producing First Friday. So at the age of 16 and 17, I'm out promoting multi-million-dollar projects. And
she the gangster one.
Oh, she had the reggae shirt on. Yeah, Rastafari.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. Hey Kiki. I remember Kiki. She did have a fat ass. Hey Kiki, how you doing, sweetie?
So back to the story. You will see that dude will chime in and just let you know about what's going on.
Say that shit. That's real.
But so after we finished with the Red Rum projects, we actually branched out and did two other things. LTJ Ventures, which was the party scene, early 90s, Gold Bar, Hard Rock Cafe, down on McKinney when it was there, Union Station. We were doing some legendary things because right now, downtown Dallas is nothing like it was in the 90s. In the 90s, we weren't allowed to go down there and party. But we went down there and
shout out to Kid Capri because he did a lot of those events.
Yeah, Kid Capri, Carl Kanai, correct. DJ Spinderella, Salt and Pepper, they came out.
And shout out to Spin, it's her birthday on Saturday.
Shout out, and Q, comedian Q, shout out to him.
And shout out to my boy, what's you got what I need.
Biz
Marquis, shout out to Biz Marquis.
Yeah, he was here.
Union Station up there on the ones and twos, taking off his shirt.
So if you can imagine a 16-year-old help manage this process, I know most people are like, come on, man. Like, you were just sitting around like, nope. They just walk in, give me assignments. Hey, go do this, go do that. So we came up with the idea of wrapping the van. We took the album cover and we wrapped it.
On a bus.
No, it was on the van, Astro van.
Dallas bus too.
Yeah. We Cabal. We ended up doing on the sides of dart buses. Yeah. But we used to take that van around Dallas, and it had 1212s with about 15,000 watts in it. And literally, I think I got up to 8 noise violation tickets. Antonio, who you were just talking about, Misa, was one of the main people that was responsible for driving the van, and it would be so ignorant. But that's how we pushed our album. So when it came to guerrilla marketing, I had really made a name for myself because I was able to say, hey, I'm producing First Friday. We got great attendance. And then at that time, we started making our way north, and that's when we moved into Blue Mesa and Addison, which is now a whole different complex up there. But we started throwing parties at Blue Mesa and Addison. And so
what happened to First Friday?
What you mean what happened? It's a proprietary thing, so it's owned by one person. You can't just come out and produce now you could play on the name First Friday, but to say you are a First Friday official party, you got to drop some bread and get the rights to that. And so right now, I want to say Vernon Norris, he's still here in Dallas, but DOC, according to Instagram, he's back and forth, it looks like, between here and LA. But and shout out to those guys, man, because they created a lot of opportunity for a lot of other people in the city. Now, once we leave that scene, I'm getting to a point where in life is crazy because I'm living in a club. From Thursday night to Monday morning, I am living in the club as a promoter. So the run used to be GG's, then you would hit Park Ave, then you would go up to Blackberries. I ain't forgot about Phenomenon or Filling Station. Well, Filling Station before my time.
Yeah, he don't know. Yeah. Now I'm down with the Filling Station.
The Spy Club.
But what I did was I went around to all these clubs and found the best security guards and put together a team. And so while I'm doing this, I'm looking at the business side saying, yo, I need to get into the security thing. I got one of the best teams. So then I just started outsourcing my team. Biggie, damn, who else is in there? Murph. It's a couple of cats.
Yeah, Big Murph.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So, once we got that rolling, but then 9/11 happened. And then when 9/11 happened, my cousin, David, who passed away, he was NYC police officer that died in 9/11. That really changed my perspective on life. Because at that time, I'm sitting there saying, damn, man, what are people going to say about me when I go? Like, what's going to happen with everything that I've created? And so at that time, I just wasn't really proud of what I had accomplished in life. And so once I had that come to fruition, shout out to my best friend Esmel Motorberry. Slate Venues, if you're looking to get married, going up to Richardson. But Esmel used to tell me every day, hey man, come on man, you need to come to college. Now this is a dude, we're the same age, and he's my intern. Every day he's trying to encourage me to go to school. And I'm sitting here telling him, bruh, I am making 40 to 50 grand cash. It's people that got degrees not even doing what I'm doing right now.
Right.
And see, I thought that was a lot of money, but that's not a lot of money. So at that time, I'm sitting here saying, hey, man, I'm running on the road. I'm doing my thing. Well, then when 9/11 happens, and then I have like this out-of-body experience, and I'm looking at my family, because this is David. This is somebody I grew up with, my cousin. Mm-hmm. And so to see the 21-gun salute and the flag and the official stuff, I'm like, man, I got to do something with my life. So I literally...
We're not going to exclude the times you got hemmed up at the Whataburger with cops all around.
That's your fault.
Strong.
Okay, so let's talk about that.
My fault.
Let's talk about that.
How the fuck is it my fault? I wasn't even there. And it's like, so...
You weren't there.
I'm going to let you just floss over that shit.
Okay,
like,
hold on.
I did this, and then I went to college. No, you got it.
But hold on, let's talk about that specific incident, because the reason why I blame you...
I wasn't even there.
You ain't got to be there. The reason why I blame you, where was I coming from? I was coming from the strip club off 30 with you. It's a Sunday morning. The strip club ain't even open. We are in the parking lot waiting for them to open.
Okay, you still ain't told me what they got to do with me.
Me and you are sitting in the parking lot waiting. So we sitting there getting wasted all day in the strip club because you were going through a divorce.
Yep, I was going through a divorce.
So
I was going through my divorce.
I'm supporting my brother.
Hemmed up in DeSoto.
And I was leaving the club from downtown Dallas with you.
Okay, you were leaving the club in downtown Dallas. But you got hemmed up in DeSoto.
Yeah, doing 105 in Illumina, or Chevy Lumina.
I wasn't there.
So, long story short, I get clocked at 35 in Wintergreen. I make the decision to get off at 35 in Beltline, and I can either go right to the house, or I can go left and go get this Whataburger because I'm hungry as hell. And I literally pull up at Whataburger, and it seemed like they called every cop in Lancaster and DeSoto. So I'm walking out of the car, and I'm at the front door when the cop is making a U-turn on a service road, and then they just pull up in Whataburger and hit the lights. So as I'm going to open the door, all of a sudden I hear, "Get back in the car." Like, me? The fuck? What's going on here? So I go get back in the car, but the problem was I had a pistol under my seat. I had a case of beer. A big case of beer. No, they weren't open, but they were in the front seat. But I had my Letterman jacket from DeSoto, and we were actually playing Duncanville that week. Duncanville.
He was underage.
Yeah.
I'm in
high school. I'm in high school.
Underage.
Yeah. Rough times. It was rough times. You know, I was trying to do some things. Okay, so among running pistols, now I had this encounter with the cops. Well, my uncle, rest in peace, Uncle Los. He was a cop in East Orange, New Jersey.
And you were fucking the sheriff here. The sheriff's daughter.
No.
The sheriff's daughter.
No, that was Esmel.
No, you was fucking, what's the name? Wasn't, I ain't putting no names out there, but.
Well, you just did.
Who?
We ain't had that many sheriffs.
What sheriff?
That in the name, hell.
Sheriff,
you was fucking the sheriff's daughter in DeSoto.
No, that was no. Her dad was a sergeant for DPD. He's the one that got me out.
That's what I'm saying. Might have been the sheriff.
Yeah. So no, but I was engaged at the time. Nah, see, you just make it sound random, like I'm fucking the sheriff's daughter.
Might have been the sheriff's daughter.
No, I'm engaged at the time. You
had some pool, and you was able to get out.
I don't know about that because I sat for a day.
Oh,
and they served me the peanut. They sent me the peanut butter and jelly.
Unless it's life with a day.
So I used my one call to call my then fiance. So I'm like, all she can do is go off. Where you been? Last I heard you was going to the club. I'm like, listen, I'm in jail. Like, I ain't got time for this shit. I'm in jail. I need you to help me get out. Now, without involving my parents, how do I get out of jail?
Right.
Because at this point, I hadn't seen a judge. I got locked up on a Friday night. So this is like Saturday afternoon.
But DeSoto didn't even have a jail.
No, they did. All right, so I helped build that whole fucking DeSoto Police Department for paying my tickets. DeSoto Police Department used to be an intersection up from where it's at, and it was a small building. I had a partner that went in there and robbed them. and took all the bulletproof vests out of there. Okay. Oh yeah. Anyway, so fast forward back to the story. Now I'm sitting there and I'm trying to convince her I need to get out of here because at this point the floor is hard and cold. I've been in there for about 20 hours or so.
Can't call
home because I'm not even supposed to be out. Okay, I'm supposed to be out with him, chilling. Okay. But we out doing other things. So finally, officer walks up to the gate and says, "Franklin Meredith." I'm like, "What the fuck you calling names for? I'm the only dude in here. Come on out, you're being released." So I'm like, "Huh?" And they're like, "Yeah, you're not going to get your pistol back. You're not going to get your alcohol back. You just need to be happy that you know who you know. Don't fucking let me see you no more." Right. I promise you, at least once a week I was getting pulled over in DeSoto. Because at that point,
now you know who the fuck I am.
Yeah, at this point they done flagged you.
They all over me.
We want you because we let you off this time.
Let me tell you, I've gotten tickets for driving too slow. I got tickets for driving too fast. I got tickets for noise violation. I've gotten tickets for pistols. I've gotten tickets for all types of stuff. Right, so.